Don't sleep while I'm pointing my finger at you. Oh. Oh, I wouldn't dream of falling asleep on you, Mr. Edgeworth. Schon wechselt sie ein bisschen. It is exactly as you say. Are you confessing to having participated in the smuggling? No, far from it. It's true that I was one of who signed off on that document. But you can't use that fact alone to make your allegation of smuggling stick. There's no direct correlation after all. All you have is my signature on a piece of paper. Really? All you did was sign it? I neglected to check it if the cargo had been loaded onto the plane properly. So sorry about that. It seems that she's finally woken up. This is going to be one tough fight. Suppose, and this is just a supposition. Even if I was involved in smuggling, you can't throw the charge of murder on me just like that.
Objection!
If you were involved in the smuggling, you would have a strong motive to kill. Agent Hicks was in the middle of an investigation regarding a smuggling ring. And just when he was about to close in, he was killed by a member of that ring. Well, did you ever stop to think that maybe Rhoda is the smuggling ring member? After all, unlike me, Rhoda has access to many things on this plane for work purposes. So, perhaps there is some element of a setup at play in this case. What are you talking about? Don't worry, I wasn't talking about you, I meant the killer. First it was myself, and now it's Miss Tanner who is under the microscope. Seems to me that our killer is going to great lengths to pin this crime on anyone they can. You have no proof that Rhoda is being set up or that she isn't. Actually, I believe that she was indeed the intended target from the very beginning. I believe that the plan was to push all of the blame for the crime onto her. And this evidence will prove my suspicions. This proves that the killer was out to frame Miss Tanner from the very beginning. Ist es der Koffer? Ja, komm, das muss der Koffer sein. The killer could have hidden the body anywhere, yet they chose the suitcase. Why is that? Perhaps it was to move the body from the lower deck to the first floor. However, why go through the trouble to do so? Ich blase. The only way all of these actions make sense is if the killer had wanted to frame Miss Tanner for the murder. Miss Tanner buys a suitcase on every flight she works without fail, but should her suitcase be switched with the one containing the victim's body, that would put her in a very tight spot. Unfortunately for the killer, the turbines put an end to that plan. Ja, was jetzt, ne? There wasn't enough time to put the body back into the suitcase, ergo they made use whoever was at hand adapt their plan, and tried to frame me as I lay unconscious on the floor from the turbulence. The killer then went to hide the suitcase in the inside shop, and brought the piggy bank back to the elevator in order to fabricate a false weapon. A lot of work for a fruitless endeavor. Wouldn't you agree? Endeavor. Sounds like the killer had a tough time too, huh? I mean, why did the killer need to frame someone that badly anyway? That is because of the special circumstance surrounding this particular case. What special circumstance? Yeah. Where the murder took place? Ja, in einem Flugzeug. Da gibt's nicht so... Ach, the special circumstance simply that the murder took place on a plane. Ja. Ach, ich bin so gut. Schokola. Ja. So. Therefore, there was no choice but to frame either Miss Tanner or myself. In other words, the only one who fits within the boundaries of the criminal's movements is not Miss Tanner or myself, but you, Miss Camille. On you and you alone could be the killer. And? Huh? Are you done already? I was about to fall asleep again. Anyway, let's be honest here. You don't have anything on me other than a whole lot of circumstantial evidence. Ugh. She's right. I can see the outline of how the murder occurred, but I have no definitive evidence. Die Musik kenne ich noch gar nicht. And isn't there a piece of evidence that's still unaccounted for? Something that I still can't quite fit into the big picture? Tja, ich weiß jetzt noch nicht genau, was ich schon benutzt habe und... War es das Handy? Ja, mach ich mal. I don't have any actual evidence. I thought not. But that's because it went missing and still is. Missing? What do you mean by that? In the complex puzzle that is this case, there was one piece I kept getting stuck on. And that is the victim's cell phone. Franziska, you were waiting at the airport for the phone call from Agent Hicks' cell phone. Or at least that's what you told me. That's right. But Agent Hicks' cell phone could not be found at the crime scene. You mean the killer took the phone with them? Precisely. I suspect that if we were to find that phone, it would lead us to the killer. Haha, come on, get serious. If the victim fell to his death from that height, wouldn't this phone break as well? Well, no, and that until we try a little experiment, will we? Franziska, I'd like to ask for your assistance. You know the victim's phone number, do you not? Of course I do. Agent Hicks' phone, it's ringing from somewhere, sir. I hear it, detective. Now where is it coming from? Miss Mealy, wake up! Sorry, Mr. Edgeworth, I got sleep all of a sudden because it sounds like a lullaby I used to love as a child. Ja, wo ist es? Hier? Im Koffer? Was ist denn das hier? Ach so. Ja, dann gehen wir mal. Können wir dieses Dings nehmen? Na gut, dann nehmen wir halt die Treppen, ey, mein Gott. Dann nehmen wir... Mein Gott, dann nehmen wir halt die Treppen. The ring is coming from somewhere in here, sir. Leave no stone unturned, Detective Gumshoe. We must find it. Gumshoe. Ich denke mal, es ist in ihrem Fach. What? No, it can't be. This has gotta be the victim's cell phone. Just whose locker is this, sir? Ja, Rhoda. Ja, ist auch klar. What? Jetzt da reingetan, ist doch klar. So easy. 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 So, Miss Edgeworth, how did it go? Where did you find the phone? I found it in the flight attendant's room in Miss Tenero's locker. What? But... Rhoda Tenero? I don't know anything about the phone. It wasn't me. It wasn't me. Miss von Karma, is it? I suggest you arrest Miss Rhoda Tenero right away. Object! Wait, I have a theory. This is related to the incident with the keycard. When the killer went to steal the keycard, they conveniently stashed the cell phone in Miss Tenero's locker at the same time. This is related to the keycard, alright. In the same way that we have zero proof that the killer did just that. The only voice that sings the truth is evidence. That's one bird we cannot ignore. What should I do? Franziska's right. I can't offer baseless conjectures at this point. Alright then, why did the culprit take the cell phone from Agent Hicks? It must have something very incriminating on our end. Ey, Miles hat's herausgefunden. What now, Miles Edgeworth? It's not over yet. We have yet to figure out why the killer took the phone. What? Inside this phone lies the final piece of incriminating evidence that will point us to our killer. We need to examine this phone in more detail. Ah. So, dann, The LCD is broken. Without a screen you can't even place a call with this. Ach, du kannst doch einfach die, Karte da rausnehmen, bestimmt. Komm hier. Die Kamera und Speicher und so. Ah, it's a camera lens. Come to think of it. I wonder. How exactly was Agent Hicks planning to preserve the crime scene of smuggling? Franziska, I need you to confirm something. This cell phone, can it take pictures? Mr. Edgeworth, I can't believe you don't know about this kind of basic stuff, sir. This looks like a very similar model to my own. And mine can take photos just fine. Do you think Agent Hicks could have taken some pictures with this? In particular pictures as evidence for his smuggling case? If so, I'd say there may be some very inconvenient photos in here for our killer smuggler. But this phone's all busted up, sir. Ja, wir können auf Franziskas Handy nehmen. Even a super prosecutor can't repair a broken phone. Einfach By the way, don't you worry about that. I'll go back to the sleep now. Nein. Objection. The SCP-300 is another broken, that's for sure. But that's also reason enough to believe that the killer wasn't able to erase the data. What? What do you mean by that, Franziska? It looks like our killer isn't very familiar with electronics. This phone still rang when I called it, meaning that only the LCD screens are broken. It's possible that the photos are still there inside, waiting to be accessed. All we need to do is transfer the data to my phone. Oh shit, Franziska, your phone, if you please. Very well. It's transferring. Alright, displaying it now. Okay. This is... Agent Hicks was most certainly trying to obtain some evidence for a smuggling case. Hey, the olive red's nowhere in this pic, sir. But this has no meaning as a piece of evidence in this murder case, right? Oh, she's right. There's not much we can find out from this about Agent Hicks' killer, sir. Is this it? Is this the end? Okay. Keine Ahnung. Ja. Bedsheets. Bedsheets? Nein, oder? Ach, ich weiß es nicht. Wir werden einfach alles nachschauen. The fact that all the suitcases are here in this photo is odd. Agent Hicks was still alive at the time, so what exactly is so odd about suitcases that haven't been used yet being there? Yes, well, I was only pointing out things that are different between now and then. So after... ja, komm. Was ist hiermit? What's all this? Hmm? Oh, they are cargo shipped from Borgian to Zhengfa. So the reason they aren't here now is that they were dropped off in Zhengfa. Mr. LeBlanc, can you tell me the contents of the boxes? Unfortunately, there's no English written on them anywhere. One cluster of boxes written in Borginian. It says, hoi hoi hoi. It is cloth in English. Cloth, could it be? Is this where the killer... What? What for is that scary face? Miss Mealy. Yes? It appears that Agent Hicks was no ordinary investigator. He left us with a piece of evidence after all. A striking piece that will point out who his killer is. Oh, die Musik. Ha! Maybe you shouldn't force your mistake in reading of a simple picture, Mr. Edgeworth. Ich sollte vielleicht den Text ein bisschen... The Borgian cargo and this piece of evidence will point us straight to the killer. Also das? Weapon has been sold but not. Ah! Woher sollte Rhoda wissen, dass da Tücher drin sind? Weil es wurde ja in Borginien geschrieben. Und sie kann ja Borginien und wusste deswegen, dass da Tücher drin sind, damit sie das Blut wegwischen kann. The killer used this piece of cloth to wipe up the blood that had split. But there was one thing that bothered me this whole time. Where did it come from? And now I have finally found my answer in this very photo. The cargo that was unloaded in Zhengfa had cloth written on it. In Borginian, that is. And this is where the killer grabbed a piece from to clean up the blood with. That's right. The killer was someone who could read and understand Borginian. And the only crew member that fits that description is you, Miss Kamimini. Ah, that's pretty flimsy. The killer probably searched through all the boxes looking for something to use. When you're frantic, you don't care if the box is in English or Borginian. Doof. Da war aber Bedsheets waren da auch. Und die wurden nicht benutzt. Sorry, but I cannot agree with the assessments of the killer in discriminating nature. What? There was no need for the killer to tear through boxes at random at all. And if the killer supposedly could not comprehend Borginian, well then... Logically, the killer would have opened this box first. Ja, Bedsheets. Ach, bin ich gut. Hey, it says bedsheets in English right on the box, sir. Precisely, and bedsheets would be perfect for cleaning up blood, wouldn't you say? So what are you trying to say? That if I were the criminal, this box of bedsheets would have been what I would have spotted first. However, the killer chose to use some Borginian cloth. Do you have an explanation for that? The killer didn't want anyone to know that the real scene of the crime was this cargo hold. so they were afraid to leave signs that the box for the sheets had been opened. However, the Botanian cloth, well, that's a horse of a different color. Because the killer knew that it was going to be unloaded in the Republic of Zengfa. That's right, that is why the Botanian cloth was used. And the only Botanian reader on board who could make such a calculated decision is you, Kemimiri. You and you alone. Oh no! It would be very easy for us to confirm if any of the boxes were resealed. All we would have to do is contact the Zengfa authorities in time. We may even find other evidence incriminate our killer within those boxes. So what do you say, Miss Millie? Why not confess to your crime here now? Or would you rather wait and see what we find out from our investigation Zengfa? Na komm, gib's zu. Wir haben jetzt auch schon eine Stunde aufgenommen. Ja. Das wollen wir alle sehen, ne? Ja. Wieder hat die Gerechtigkeit gesiegt. He was Interpol. I couldn't stop it. I brought him here. He started taking pictures. I couldn't be found out. I was scared. I was in trouble. Witzig. Ja, also. So, jetzt schnell hier abschließen. We finished making all the arrangements to take the suspect in, sir. Very good, detective. What about the smuggling route? Did she say anything about that? They're taking her down to the precinct now. Hopefully we can get more out of her there. Whenever we even approached the topic, she just started foaming at the mouth. It was scary, sir. She probably wasn't prepared to commit a murder all of a sudden. One thing is for sure, the ring behind this whole mess means serious business. It looks like there's a lot more to this case than meets the eye. More than meets the eye. Mr. Edgeworth. I just want to say how much I appreciate everything you did. Thank you very much. Very much. It was nothing. In fact, I should be the one thanking for your cooperation. But truly, if it wasn't for you, I might not be here right now. Instead, I can continue to serve our passengers as a flight attendant. I hope that, well, please accept this as a token of my appreciation. That's... I see, you don't have to take it if you don't want it. No, I mean, I would never turn down a lady's generous offer. Oh, thank you. Ich glaube, der Koffer ist auch noch später wichtig in einem anderen Fall. I'm sure it will serve you well. And remember, we're here at iFly Airlines are always ready to serve Mr. Edgeworth. Thank you, I'll keep that in mind. Now I must bid you farewell. May all of your skies be blue no matter where you go. So. I can't believe you wound up investigating the whole day, sir, but boy was it fun. Speak for yourself, my day was filled with earthquakes, elevators and false charges. By the way, where's Franziska? Oh, she's filling out some customs paperwork for her departure. Departure? Yeah, Miss von Karma always really busy, sir. She's been flying from country to country to chase down some leads regarding her case. Detective, can you cancel the car I had you reserved earlier? You got it, sir. Okay. Franziska, I thought I told you when you first landed. I have no time to idle chatter. For idle chatter. I have no intention of wasting your time. However, it has been a while since we last met. I also have no time for such familiar reminiscence. Just who do you think I am? You are Franziska von Karma, a very proud prosecutor deserving of much respect. Until now, a little while ago, I was but a rich mud who was always losing to you. A dancing pirate. Pirate? Sag mal pirate? Living her life on the name and fame her invincible father built. True, your father, Manfred von Karma, didn't lose a single case for 40 years as a prosecutor. However, I wouldn't say he was invincible. What are you talking about? The group I'm on the trail of is a little more troublesome than most. The smuggling group we found this time is only one sliver of the big picture. Sounds like a dangerous assignment. You really don't have to worry, I can take care of myself. Yes, I suppose you can. Plus, there's another agent on this case with me. Oh, another agent? He's a star among Interpol agents and has the highest successful arrest rate. Who knows, you may even run into him one day. I was simply caught up in this one case. I hardly see why we would cross paths. I suppose, but I doubt you would say the same. I'm not following you. You'll understand soon enough. The fight has only just begun, Miles Edgeworth. I'll be back in this country soon enough. And when I am, you can be sure I'll pay you back in full. Tschüss, Franziska. Keiner mag dich. And just like that, she's gone, huh, sir? Thank goodness, I can finally rest easy now. I won't have to watch out for a whip. Detective Gums show. I want to thank you for all your help and cooperation. Oh, it was nothing, sir. I was just happy to be able to work with you again. I think I'm gonna celebrate by adding a little extra salt to my instant noodles tonight. Just how much did you cut his salary by, Franziska? Detective, I was wondering if you might give me a ride down to the prosecutor's office. Sure thing, sir. I'll even fly down the road in the petrol car if you want. Don't make me ride you, detective. Safety first. Yosh! Thus, I solved the first case of my arrival home. Franziska von Karma, the smuggling crew she was after. The leaders of that ring had already put their trump card into play, and the players on the other side of this war. They would begin to make themselves known through the next incident. Ach, was ist denn jetzt hier? Hm? Edgeworth speaking. Ah, finally, I called who knows how many times earlier, but I couldn't get through. And you are? Ah, have you forgot my voice, Miles, my boy? Mr. Amano, Ernest Amano, correct? Ah, so you do remember me. I know it's rather sudden, but I can't ask this of anyone else. There's been an incident, Miles. My son, he's been kidnapped. Ich habe keine Ahnung mehr, was da passiert ist, aber ich bin froh, dass wir diesen Fall jetzt geschafft haben. Und ich weiß gar nicht, wie viele Teile ich jetzt daraus machen werde. Habe ich immer 20 Minuten Parts gemacht? Kann sein, ne? Erstmal speichern. Und dann sehen wir uns beim nächsten Mal bei Episode 3, The Kidnapped Turnabout. Also, bis zum nächsten Mal.